What's up, Nerdyverse? I'm Daddy Louie, and in this video, we are taking a look at a game called F.U.M.P.K, Fairy Unicorn Mermaid Princess Kitten. So stick around. Before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe for more content and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Fairy Unicorn Mermaid Princess Kitten is an upcoming Kickstarter game coming out in just a few days. It is for 2 to 6 players. It takes around 15 minutes to play, and it is for ages 6 and up. Now, as you'll see once we get started, it is a very simple set collection game. It takes a lot of elements from games that kids and families will be familiar with, such as Go Fish, Sushi Go, and things like that. And it uses those mechanics to kind of make its own breed of game, if you will. The art is super cute. My daughter flipped out as soon as she saw it, and she beat me a lot when we were playtesting the game. But is it good? Well, if you join me on the table, we'll check it out. So the first thing to note is that I received a very early prototype copy of this game. I didn't get a box or anything like that. It was just a stack of cards, and I got the instruction manual via email. So what you see here may change in the final product, especially the art. However, I hope it doesn't change too much because the art really is a big draw, especially in my house. The back of the cards really represent nicely the 4 suits of the game. So you have fairy, unicorn, mermaid, and kittens. And then here in the middle, this princess crown represents a wild suit, which you'll see once we get into the game. But I just want to show you the art really quickly. There's essentially 3 different kinds of cards. So you have a single type card here. That just represents one of the 4 suits like you saw on the back. So for example here, this is a fairy. Then you have dual cards. These are a mixture of 2 of the suits. So like here you have a fair maid. So this is a fairy mermaid. And it represents 2 of the suits. So you have fairy and mermaid there. And then the final type of card is the card that you actually are trying to create through playing these types of cards here. And that is your princesses. So once you create a princess, you receive point value that is shown up here in the top left corner. And the object of the game is to be the first player to get to 12. Now, if you find that games are going too quickly, you can play to 20, play to 30, however you want. There's also a couple other variations where you have to be the first player to get to 12, but you must also have created at least one fairy, unicorn, mermaid, princess, kitten, which is a combination of all 4 suits, as well as 1 additional card. So that gives you 4 points, but like I said, there's also a variation of play where you have to create all of that. So you basically have this huge stack of cards. You're going to shuffle them up. You're going to deal each player 7, and then I will show you how. Okay, so once each player has been dealt 7 cards, you will take the rest of the cards, put them in a stack, flip over the top card for a discard / trade pile, if you will. And then play starts with the first player. Now, on your turn, the first thing that you can do is try to steal a card that you need from your opponent. And this is kind of like a familiar Go Fish mechanic. So, for example, here, in order to play or in order to score and create this fairy corn princess, I need to have a unicorn, a fairy, and then anything else that I want to use. So this crown here represents a wild. So you can see I've got fairies, and I've got kittens, and I've got mermaids, but I don't have any unicorns. So I might ask my opponent for a unicorn. Now, if they have one, they have to give it to me. And looking at their stack here, they certainly do. So I would ask for a unicorn, and they would have to give me that unicorn. Now, if for some reason they didn't have what it is that I asked for, in this case, let's say I asked for a unicorn and they didn't have it, or I decided that I didn't want to ask for a unicorn, I have a couple of other options to try and get the cards that I need. One, I can draw a card from the top of the deck. Another thing that I could do is take the top card of the trade pile. And then finally, the last thing I can do is take a princess that I don't want from my hand, discard it into the trade pile, and then draw the number of cards that equals the value of the princess that I got rid of. So in this case, 3, I would be able to draw 3 cards. That's a way of getting a lot of cards into your hand, especially if you have an F.U.M.P.K in your hand. You can use that to get a lot of cards. That's one of the strategies that I used when I was playing. But for now, we did get the unicorn from our opponent, so we can't do any of those other things. I would then go into my build phase, and I want to build this fairy corn princess right here. So to do that, I need a unicorn, I need a fairy, and then I need something else. So I can either use my mermaid or my kitten in this case, or instead of playing this fairy, I could use my fairy mermaid. So the mermaid will help me with that wild that I need, and the fairy will help me with the fairy. So I'll just place these underneath here like that, and now I score 3 points towards my 12. And then I would pass play to my opponent. So on my opponent's turn, looking at their hand, they have that powerful and high-scoring F.U.M.P.K in their hand, but it looks like they don't have... let's see, we just have too many princesses. So if I wanted to try and score that, what I might do is discard this this princess here and then draw 3. 2, 3. And now I go into my build phase. So let's see if this helps me get any closer to the F.U.M.P.K. So I want to try and build this. I need a kitten and a unicorn, right? I still need a mermaid, a fairy, and a wild. So here's my mermaid, here's my fairy, and for my wild, I will play this unicorn, which gives me the F.U.M.P.K and scores me 4 points. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention on this player's turn is when you are able to complete a princess, you get to draw an extra card. So he gets a card for completing this princess, and now I get a card for completing this princess. And then play will pass to the next player, and the score is currently 4-3. Again, playing to 12 or whatever number you see fit. And that's the basic mechanics of the games. There's nothing else that you really need to know. The other thing that I want to note is that if you do decide to use a combo card like this here, you need to be able to use both of the symbols. You can't just play it for one of the symbols and the other symbol go wasted. So in this case, I was able to use this mermaid symbol to represent this or to help me with that wild. But if I couldn't, for whatever reason, then I would not be able to have used this card. Other than that, those are the core mechanics of how you play F.U.M.P.K. Like I said, there are some variations in the rules just to mix things up, make it a little bit more challenging. But again, at its core, it really is just a very simple set collection game. Really quickly, one more time, I just want to go and look at some of this art. Like I said, this may not be the final art, but this is definitely the art style that you're going to see in the game. And it really is one of the big draws part of the game. So I just really want to show that off so that you can see what it is that you're going to get here. And that is everything that you need to know in order to play Fairy, Unicorn, Mermaid, Princess, Kitten, F.U.M.P.K. My final thoughts of the game is it is very good, especially for younger kids that you're trying to get into gaming, family members who don't have any experience with gaming. It really is a very nice and easy gateway game into set collection, and games like that. The designer of the game, he made this game so that he could get his little girls to play games with him. And that is kind of what it is that you're getting when you play this game. The Kickstarter is coming out, like I said, in just a couple of days. I'll leave links to all of that in the description below. In addition to the game, they have some cool enamel pins of all of the characters or the main characters, the main princesses and stuff like that. So if you like the artwork, there's definitely extra things that you'll be able to get to show that artwork off other than just the game. So make sure that you go and check it out, and I hope that you guys enjoy this game as much as me and my kids did. What are you most excited about for F.U.M.P.K? Let us know down in the comments section below. I enjoy reading all of those things and interacting with you guys. You can also find more of Circle of Nerds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Circle of Nerds. Make sure that you check out our weekly podcast that comes out every Wednesday. It's called The Cosmic Disaster Show. You can find that right here on YouTube or anywhere that you enjoy listening to podcasts. And for an extra bit of love and affection to us here at the Circle of Nerds, please consider checking us out over on Patreon at patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. I will see you in the next video.